everyone, it's Ashley Bradley with Ashley Bradley Coaching. Thanks so much for watching my video. So the topic today is going to be on redefining failure, and it'll explore some ways that you might be able to identify if there are failures that are coming up for you frequently, and a few ideas that might help you to get past them or to reframe them in a certain way so that you're finding that kind of forgiveness or self-compassion that might be missing. Before we do jump into that topic, I did want to just share a few new discoveries that I've made since my last video. In the intro, I mentioned that I would be documenting in these videos my journey as an entrepreneur as I create and find kind of myself and my identity within this coaching business. And I had a strong realization over the last month that helping people to find their life purpose is going to be my specialty within coaching. And when I say life purpose, I believe that there's a gift that everybody has, something that just comes completely naturally to them that really leaves them feeling so fulfilled and happy at the end of the day. And there's some people that have this separation between life purpose and career, but really my approach as a coach will be helping people to bring the two together so that you can find that thing that really gets you excited to go to work every day and just gives you all the things that you feel maybe have been missing. I think it's something that almost fulfills this greater sense of self that a lot of us are looking for, something that's larger than ourselves. So that is something that I wanted to share as I document all the changes and discoveries that I've made as a coach. So jumping into the topic of redefining failure, first I wanted to explore what's even important about this. Well, as I ponder that and as I really discovered some things about myself and worked on this personally with a coach that I'd consider to be both a friend and a colleague, and written articles about it, created some different types of content. I've really been just immersing myself in this idea over the last month, and I've discovered that we try very hard to stay in the moment, to stay in the present, or to be focused on the future, but when we have these failures that we hang on to, they take us into the past like in a heartbeat. And then from there, all these self-limiting beliefs start to pop up, and these things that aren't even necessarily relevant to who we are start to really take over and affect the decisions that we make. They make us afraid to be able to take these steps forward, to make these leaps of faith, and to take some chances. And the importance of really taking some chances and taking some risks is we start to notice that that's something that a lot of the most successful people in the world are able to do. They're able to just be very resilient and to take these risks and to, if they happen to fail or fall down, pick themselves up, find the learning, and just reframe it in a way that doesn't paralyze them. So I think it's important for us to have this way of managing that within ourselves so that we can continue to be completely awesome and step forward and make some cool risks that get us to where we want to go in life. So I wanted to ask, well, how would I even know if this is a problem? You would know that it's a problem if you're thinking about taking a risk, thinking about taking a chance on something, and your mind automatically goes to the past and automatically starts reminding you of things that you didn't do right or mistakes that you made. It's something that you'll know if it's a problem if it starts just seeping into your thoughts and randomly just starts coming in for you when it's nothing that really can serve you there from that. So I will tell you it's okay. I think it's okay for you to briefly, if something happens and you make a mistake, to think about it and just think about it critically for a small amount of time. But then we need to come up with an agreement of a certain amount of time where we just let go of that failure and decide that there's nothing else that's going to serve us by fixating on it. So once you find that learning or find that piece of information, that you allow yourself to release it and not keep coming back to it over and over again. So how do we get past it? I think that's the big question that most of us are looking for. So I will preface this with, there are various ways that each person finds clarity. Some people find it by talking with other people. Some people find it kind of internally by just thinking about it or journaling. And so this approach might not necessarily be the one that each one of us is looking for, but it is something that might be one method to try. And the approach that really stepped forward is one that I think the widest amount of people can connect with, is this idea of reconnecting with our values. And when I say values, it's not values like morals or beliefs, but what we value most about ourselves. So I'd like for you to just consider and bring a failure to mind that comes up for you frequently. And just find one. It might be 20 years ago. It might be something that happened yesterday, but something that you've been just really having a difficult time shaking it. And as you think about that, ask yourself, what are 3 things that you value most about yourself? So as I think of mine, what immediately comes forward is creativity, compassion, and resiliency. And I'm just going to go with the first 3 that step forward. And you're going to take the time to really visualize what each of these would look like for you. Imagine that they're friends of yours, people that you go to for advice, people that you really trust that they have your best interest in heart. And as you picture them standing in front of you, ask them if there's a message that they want you to hear related to the failure that you brought up. And just picture what they'd look like if they were, however you would picture them to be, whatever embodiment they would take. And just listen to the message and really go with the first thing that comes into your mind. And what's interesting is when we start to see these values as separate from ourselves, we'll start to really feel that real kind of sense of love and compassion that we really easily give to other people, but we have a difficult time receiving it when it comes to ourselves. So I'd like for you to take the time to go through that and see what information comes to you, and I hope that it's something that you find useful, that might be something that you need to remind yourself of. I did mention that there's a few various approaches that I've thought of depending on how you personally find clarity. So in the description below, I will post a few different links. There is a meditation that I've created that's about 7 minutes that will take you through a different form of this exercise. And there's also a meditation that I found from somebody else that I thought was just really phenomenal. It's a little bit longer, about 25 minutes, but it goes through things relating to self-compassion, forgiveness, and authenticity that will really tie in well to this topic. And then a few links as well to an article about the topic if you're somebody that would rather just read it and process it in that way, as well as a recent pop-up coaching phone call that will take you through these similar questions, but they're a little bit longer. It's about 5 questions, and it'll take, I'd say, about maybe 15 to 20 minutes if you prefer to just listen to that. But I would love to have you share some discoveries that you made about yourself, discoveries that you made about how you've been able to reframe failure. And it's something that you might think, well, why do I need to share that? Who cares about what I discovered? But there are a lot of people that might benefit from your idea or from something that you thought of. But I encourage you to put some questions below in the comments, anything that you'd like to see more of. But I'd love to hear from you guys and see if there's anything that comes up for you as you reframe some of your personal failures. Thanks so much.